Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Checking Boxes. This is box 11 of the collection that we purchased. Here's all our social. If you see anything you like in here, guys, everything is for sale. Shoot me a message at the Gmail. Always posting every day something new on the website. Instagram, we're always posting, TikTok, and I do have an eBay that's not on here. It's also Caldwell's Comics and Cards, and I post some stuff on there too, not as much as on the website because, yeah, it's just not worth it. All right, here we go. As I said, box 11. We've got a Captain America number 28. God knows what volume this is. Nice cover. Got a nice Copper Age cap. Might just keep that one for the PC. I'm getting back into 70s Kirby stuff is kind of where I'm at these days. I didn't read a lot of it, and frankly, I want to. So, Dazzler. It looks like we got a decent run of Dazzler here. We got a number 10, where she fights Galactus. Seems realistic. Number 11, fighting Terrax. Number 12, fighting a dude with no hands. Number 7, taking on the Hulk. Number 8, this is one of the better covers, I thought. Klaus Janson, I'm pretty sure. At least the inks, I don't know if he drew it or not. It kind of looks like a Sal Buscema face to me, but... Number 9 with Quasar. Wow, that's Bill Sienkiewicz. Inked by John Romita. Never would have guessed. I mean, I can see Romita's influence, but not Sienkiewicz. Okay, here we go. Uncanny 170. Nice. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. 174. In not as good a shape. We've got a 178. This is the Romita Jr. run. 179. You got a 180. 181. 182. The Rogue cover. Annual 18. Annual 17. A nice Jason Pearson cover. All right, there we go. That's some decent stuff. 165 with a nice Paul Smith cover. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. These are worth a little bit of money. 163. This is towards the end of the second Cockrum run. Annual, X-Men Annual 1 with a Jim Lee cover. Very nice. And an original Ghost Rider Rides Again, number 1. This reprints the 70s Ghost Rider series. Okay. This box out of the way here. Grab another empty box here, guys. Apologize for the delay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Spider-Man, Web of Doom, number 2. We've got a 90s Avengers, 367. We've got Spider-Man 26 with the hologram cover. Always popular books. People love the holograms. Oh, yeah. That's going to the PC for sure. Machine Man, number 2. Incredible Hulk, 338. Nice. Marvel Premiere 42. With Tigra. We've got an old... I think this is still silver. Maybe not. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, 129. Got an old Adventure Comics. Number 396 with Supergirl on the cover. Action Comics, 392. Iron Man 149. This is a great story if you guys have never read it. The Michelini, Leighton stuff was fantastic. Romita Jr. got in there somewhere, but this story was phenomenal. It ended up and finished off in 150. Marvel Team Up 103. I believe that's a Jerry Bingham cover. Spidey and Ant-Man. Nice. An old Submariner, 72. This figure is very John Romita. This one is not. So I'm going to guess he inked it. Marvel Premiere 39. Featuring the Torpedo. Oh, another copy of Captain America 28. All right. We've got a Secrets of the Legion, #1. ElfQuest The Hidden Years, #1. 2 copies of Dynamic Classics starring Batman, which is a reprint of, pretty sure that's Neil Adams. 2 of those. Untold Legend of the Batman by John Byrne. This book, though, was very heavily inked by, I think it was Giordano, and it didn't, to me, it didn't look anything like Byrne. And I think that's his first work for DC before he came over full time, and they backed up the truck and the money truck to his door and got him to do Superman. Dragon Slayer #1. I'm old enough to remember this movie in the theaters. We've got a Millennium #1. All right, nice. Luke Cage 21. Nice Gil Kane cover. We've got a Brave and the Bold 126 with a Jim Aparo cover. Batman and Aquaman. We've got a Superman, I think this is a Radio Shack comic, with a cover by the great Ross Andru. We've got a New Mutants 87 second print, I believe. First cable in rough shape. Oh, Batman Adventures 11. Missed it by that much. In rough shape. Oh boy, more toy goodness. Saga of Crystar. The only thing significant about this series is Michael Golden does a few covers later on. Spider-Woman #37 by the great Steve Leialoha. Wow, nice. Some more Bronze Age Submariners. 26. Looks like a Sal Buscema cover. Cyberfrog #0. Another Bronze Age Submariner, #23. Got a Man-Bat #1. It's in probably about a 6.0, 5.0. Jim Aparo cover. Got some Silver Age Aquaman, #42. We've got a Plastic Man, #7. More Silver Age goodness. Conan the Barbarian, #1. Got a new Teen Titans Annual, #1. We've got another one of those PSA comics. This is Spidey Battling Illiteracy. Tarzan #1. Beautiful cover. I can't remember the artist, but what a beautiful cover. Micronauts Annual #1. Steve Ditko. Warlock Special Edition. This reprints the Jim Starlin stuff. I believe this is a wraparound. Tis indeed. Silver Sable #1. Silver Embossed. This is a decent box. Yeah, there's a decent run of Spectacular Spider-Man here. This is the box that really got my attention. Because there's a nice run of Spectacular Spideys here. when I saw the video. Yeah, this is the one that really stood out to me. So here we go. We've got a 46 Frank Miller cover. We've got a 47, the new Prowler, horrible Al Milgrom cover. We've got a 48, another Frank Miller cover. We've got a 49. I want to say that's Arvell Jones on the cover. Number 50, another Frank Miller cover. I think 51 is Miller also. Yep. 51, Frank Miller cover. Didn't do any interiors in this stuff, guys, but he did a lot of covers for Peter Parker. This is a Romita Jr. cover, number 53. Got a 54. Miller, inked by Simonson. Wow. Great combination. 55, another Frank Miller. 56, Miller, inked by Wyacek. Man, that's bad. 57, pretty sure that's also Frank Miller. Yep, there's FM right there. There we go. 58. Beautiful John Byrne cover. Don't think he did the interiors, but that's a nice cover. 59, Bob Wyacek. Stick with inking, Bob. 60, definitely Frank Miller. This is when he started experimenting with this new style, which I fucking hate. Sorry, guys. Can't stand it. 61. That's an Ed Hannigan cover. 62. I would guess is another Ed Hannigan cover. 63, Romita Jr. I don't know if any of these are keys, guys. If they are, shoot me a message. Let me know. 65. It's a Bob Layton, Joe Rubenstein cover featuring Kraven the Hunter. And we've got some older ones, I think. You've got Spidey being taken up by Michael Jackson here. It's kind of embarrassing, but there you go. To be taken down by the King of Pop, not great. Peter Parker, number 70, Ed Hannigan cover. Ed Hannigan, I don't know, he took over as some kind of art cover guru back for Marvel back in those days, and he's got a great sense of design, but that's about all. He doesn't really, he's not a very good finisher, and he actually laid out covers for some of the great, I mean, he's did layouts for some John Byrne covers, and I don't get. I mean, John Byrne is far superior, but Ed Hannigan designed some really cool covers. Like I said, the design element is fantastic. The finished product, not so much. Peter Parker 29, that's a Keith Pollard cover. 30. 71, Romita Jr. 72, this is one of those Hannigan covers that I was talking about. It's kind of based on the annual #1, where Spidey fights the Sinister Six, and this is Doc Ock and Spidey fighting in, I think it's a giant fishbowl. Nicely designed again, but the finished painting is not, in my opinion, not very good. 73, Al Milgrom. 74, Bob Hall, ink by Al Milgrom. 76, Al Milgrom. Yeah, here's another one of the Hannigan covers that, again, the design is fantastic, but, you know, the figures are just not good, in my opinion. 66. There's some keys in here somewhere. I can't remember what they are. Another Hannigan. Again, beautiful design, very Ditko-esque. Reminds me of the early Ditko stuff. 68. Number 40. Al Milgrom. 41. Black Goliath. Well, I guess they're calling him Giant Man at this point. And the Meteor Man. 42. That's a Mike Zeck cover. Nice. '43, John Byrne. These are all stick together. These are very old bags. 45. I think that's Alan Weiss. Yep, Alan Weiss. Another artist I never particularly cared for. Well, we've got some Miller Daredevils in here too, guys, so that's nice. And speaking of Miller, there's a Miller Peter Parker is the next one. 26. This one here is, I believe, the first Frank Miller Daredevil. He did the interior on this book, I'm almost certain. And it's the first time he drew Daredevil. Peter Parker 27. This, I think, is a not a super expensive book, but definitely one of the better ones in this collection. We got a number 25. Keith Pollard. One of my favorite Byrne covers. Number 17. Beautiful. John Byrne, ink by John. Is that right? John Romita? Oh, no. Joe Rubinstein. Yeah, that doesn't look like Romita at all. Yeah, it's got to be Joe Rubinstein. I just love that Byrne cover. Number 18. This looks like one of those covers that Gil Kane knocked down in about an hour. This Iceman figure is horrible. Yeah, I would say they called Gil Kane at the last minute and said, Gil, we need a cover. Ernie Chan, Peter Parker 19. Number 20, another Ernie Chan cover. Number 21, Keith Pollard, inked by Terry Austin. That's a combo you didn't see very much. Number 11, looks like Al Milgrom. Number 12, and I remember buying this one at 7-Eleven. Brother Power and Sister Sun. I think that's Milgrom, inked by Austin. Wow. But that's a very Romita figure. They probably lightboxed to John Romita. 13, the great Sal Buscema. 14, another Sal Buscema. 15, looks like Keith Pollard. 16, pretty sure that's Sal Buscema. Boy, do these bags need to be replaced. And here's the number 1. Let's take it out of this bag. And I remember vividly buying this at 7-Eleven, and I was with either my mom or my dad. They went somewhere, and I remember them parking and going in, and me sitting in the car reading my Peter Parker number 1. Yeah, this one is in horrible condition. Definitely a good to a good minus. It's even got something marker on here, but it is number 1. All right, here's some more. We got a number 3. I think that's Keith Pollard. Oh, okay, and we've got Daredevil. 201, John Byrne cover. I just remember thinking when I saw this cover, the coloring is just awful, just garish, and I don't know. I think it's just horribly colored. Not one of Byrne's better covers, but the coloring really ruined it. We got a 199. We have another 199. 198. This is Carl Potts cover. 197, the great Bill Sienkiewicz. Here we go. What If number 8. Nice. Decent shape, too. Gil Kane and Klaus Janson, I believe. What If the World Knew Daredevil Was Blind? We got a Daredevil 243. I think that's Lee Weeks. Daredevil 206. Hannigan and Jansen. See, this is when Ed Hannigan really stood out to me, was when he had a really good inker like Klaus Janson. This is a nice cover, in my opinion. Daredevil 205. 204, another Sienkiewicz. 203, another Byrne. That's a nice Byrne cover. 202, that's a Bob Layton. Great inker, okay artist. I mean, this is bad. Look, the head's way too small, arms way too long. I mean, stick with inking, Bob. There we go. Daredevil 173, part of the Miller run. This is in pretty good shape, guys. Could be a 7, 7.5. Not one of the key, super expensive books, but still a Frank Miller Daredevil. Not going to complain about that. I got about 2 more stacks and we're out of here. This is a Radio Shack giveaway, Superman and Wonder Woman. That's got to be a Rich Buckler cover. Another Superman Radio Shack giveaway with a cover by the great Ross Andru. One of the most underrated artists in comic history, in my opinion. Another one by Ross Andru. Another one by Ross Andru. And yet another one. We got DC Presents, number 42. Believe that's a Rich Buckler cover. Ugh. Superman and the Unknown Soldier. DC Presents number 39 with Superman and Plastic Man. And again, Ross Andru, guys. Just that Superman figure is just amazing to me. Inked by the great Dick Giordano. Love it. Another Ross Andru, DC Presents number 40. Inked by Giordano. I think the insides of these is like Alex Saviuk or some other hack. But, great Ross Andru covers. Superman and Hawkgirl, DC Presents 37. Starlin cover. I think Starlin did the interior on this too. I think it was a Hawkman, Hawkgirl 2-parter, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Beautiful George Perez cover. Looks like he inked it himself. DC Presents 38, Superman and the Flash. And the Crimson Avenger, whatever happened to him. DC Presents 32, Superman, Wonder Woman. Again, Ross Andru. Love it. Just love it. DC Presents 34, Superman and Shazam. Rich Buckler. I once heard somebody call him the Super Adaptoid. He could draw in anybody's style. He could mimic anybody's style. He started off as a Neil Adams swipe and went on to swipe many other artists. Good artist, but he was mostly known because he could adapt his style to anybody else's. And anyway, gave George Perez a start, so we got to give him credit for that. DC Presents 35, Superman and Batman, another Ross Andru cover. Beautiful. I think this is the first part of that story. So it wasn't Hawkman, it's Starman, but this is Starlin. And again, I'm pretty sure he did the interior. Well, it says a full-length novel, so I guess it's not a two-parter. But I think that's Starlin interior as well. DC Presents 43. Obviously, at this point, guys, you figured out DC Presents was DC's answer to Marvel Team Up. Every issue was Superman and somebody else. This one is the Legion, and that's a Brian Boland cover. Before he got to be great. I mean, he's still really good back then, but... And another beautiful Ross Andru cover. Just love it. Superman and Dial H for Hero, number 44 of DC Presents. Love it. Another one, Ross Andru. Frank Giacqua inked this one. That is good. Superman and Firestorm, DC Presents 45. Looks like Rich Buckler on this one. DC Presents 46, Superman and the Global Guardians. Just going to get rid of these bags that were put on upside down. I have a story about this book, Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 4. When this came out, I had a friend, Dan Votto, used to do a convention. I think it was called Americon back in the 80s, and 85. He used to let me have, he'd have these great guests at his shows, and he offer them to me for signings before the show. And I had Dave Sim, I had Valentino, I had Rich Hoberg, Mike Grell, and I had George Perez. And my store wasn't, it wasn't a huge store. It didn't have hundreds and hundreds of customers like a Comics and Comics or the Golden Apple or any of the big names. So there weren't a lot of people there, but George was just the greatest guy. And the 5 or 10 people who did show up, he chopped it up with them. And this book had just come out. And because it was slow, I just asked him, "Hey, George, would you mind signing these for me?" And he literally signed, I think I had a whole case. So like 200 copies of Crisis number 4. He sat and signed them all. And I don't have any one of them, not a single one of them left. So there you go. If you find a copy of Crisis number 4, signed by George Perez, good chance it was signed at my store. And let me know, I'd like to get one. Man from U.N.C.L.E. This might be number 1. I don't see a number on there. Some Golden Age goodness, a Mystery Tales, number 33. Pretty rough shape, but I'll take it. Golden Age. Okay. We'll break this last stack into 2 here. Looks like some more modern stuff. Scout Comics. Yeah. We've got a Red Shift, number 4. We've got Free Comic Book Day, Nottingham, number 0. X-Force 92, number 3. Signed by Scott Koblish. I'm going to keep that one. I'm starting to build a collection again. Having a store all these years, it just it felt like too much of a conflict of interest, so I dumped my collection into the store. So I'm starting to collect a little bit. My problem is, like I'm sure a lot of you guys, when I start collecting, I want everything. And I just can't afford it, so I have to be very careful. So I'm just collecting like autographs, and I'm trying to put together a set of Cerebus and American Flag, like I think I mentioned in my last video. That's where I'm starting, and we'll see where it goes from there. The Phantom number 1, Turok number 1. I actually have a whole set of this if anybody's interested. I know Turok is kind of the joke, but it's not a bad series, and it's not easy to put together a whole set. But this book is, Comic Tom used to joke about using it as a coaster. There were so many of them produced. But anyway, like I said, a whole set if you're interested. Flash Rebirth number 1, Jeff Johns and Ethan Van Sciver, according to Torpedo. It's a $15 book. Radiant Black number 6. We've got a Flash number 5 from the Rebirth series. We've got a number 14 from the New 52. It's a nice cover. Yeah, I like it. This one, not so much. I think it's Steve Lytle. Greg LaRocque. I never liked either one of those guys. Sorry, guys. Flash number 67. That's volume 2. Wow, a Spawn number 1 that's been chewed on by a rat. I think. Could probably still get a couple of bucks for it. Everybody loves Spawn. All right. More Radiant Black. This is number 1, the D cover. Number 2, also the D cover. It's a nice cover. Number 3, the A cover. Number 4, the A cover. This video is running a little long, guys. I apologize. Number 5, Fear Case number 1. Don't know anything about this series. Another Radiant Black. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. R.I.P.D. number 1. Pretty sure this was made into a movie, which was horrible if I remember. It might even have been Bruce Willis. Number 2. Redemption number 1, the B cover. That's a nice cover. Oh, Frank Cho. Yeah, there you go. Any Cho collectors out there? Red Shift number 1. Red Shift number 2. And the final book is Red Shift number 3. So that might be a set. I don't know if that was just a 4-issue series or not. But there you go, guys. That's box 11. Again, here's all of our social. Anything that you saw in there that you like, send me an email at the Gmail address, and we'll get it shipped out to you. So thanks again for watching. Again, this was box 11 of the collection. Take care, guys.